What's up, co-reporters? Welcome back to my channel. It appears as though there is already trouble in paradise for disgraced former Teen Mom 2 star Jenelle Evans, or actually, she is no longer a former star. She's still disgraced, but she is a current star of Teen Mom Next Chapter. So it looks like there's trouble in paradise between she and August Keene, the guy that she's been trotting out this entire season of Teen Mom Next Chapter as her quote unquote manager. Managing what exactly? I don't know. But she did her typical Ask Me Anything session on Instagram. And that's something that Jenelle likes to do when she wants to get messy, right? And when she wants to start spilling the tea. I personally feel as though she goes under like fake aliases. I'm sure she's got some Instagram alt accounts to ask herself certain questions where she can, get the ball rolling in terms of creating rumors, conspiracies, gossip, and just to let people know the happenings of her life, basically. So what I'm going to do is read to you the most pertinent questions in her Ask Me Anything so that, we see whether or not you're coming to the same conclusion that I've come to about what went down. So far, I'm not really clear on who dumped who. I get the idea. I get the impression, this is just an intuition that August was the one who dumped her. And that's why she's speaking the way that she is. And I'll explain why as we go along, right? So the first question that I noticed in her Ask Me Anything that was rather interesting was, do you have a relationship with your biological father? We all know that Jenelle's father kind of bounced pretty much like instantly, after her birth and everything like that. Like, yeah, she had a couple of years, 1-2 years with him or something like that, 3, 4. And then he bounced. And so obviously the answer is no. Anyone who's been following her on the show or on social media over the years would know that answer. But I guess this person is a newcomer, which no shame to that, right? Jenelle responded by saying no, and that's why I have codependency issues. I feel like #daddy issues. It's nice that at the very least she is naming and, being honest and open about what it is that she suffers from, which is codependency. There are a host of other things, but in this instance, it's codependency. And so, I think it's great to hear that she's like open about admitting it. There's no shame in admitting that you have this problem, and when you have the resources that Jenelle has, like you can go ahead and get help for it, right? So good for her. Hopefully she does take the steps to get help because codependency is not healthy and it can get you caught up in a lot of terrible relationships, just because you're too scared to be alone, and it's really terrible. Now, someone else asked exactly who is August. This person, I believe, was Jenelle asking, on her own, because guess what? Jenelle doesn't really mention August on her Instagram. August has only been mentioned on Teen Mom Next Chapter when it comes to like current Jenelle events. So why would someone randomly just go when Jenelle was not making any mentions of this man and then ask who is August? If you don't know who August is to be asking about August, you know that she is peddling him on Next Chapter as her manager and friend. Okay, so let's get into how Jenelle responded to that question posed by herself. Quote, just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Nah, girl, let's play. You know what I mean? Like, girl, before she was keeping it vague, she was trying to allude to the idea of them dating. And she did say that on the show. She's like, he's just a manager of mine, but maybe there could be something there. And then, she talked about how she wanted to move to Vegas to be close to him, when she was debating between Florida and Vegas. The only thing stopping her from choosing Florida over Vegas, really, outside of the whole CBD thing, is August. She told Brianna that she wanted to live close to him. So, how do you go from wanting to be, all close to your manager, this, that, and the other, to, no, he's just a friend. All right, girl, let's see what else you've got going on here. Someone asked, are you single? And is that guy really your manager? So again, when people ask you questions and ask me anything, you can choose whatever it is that you want to respond to. So the fact that Jenelle really went here with the August questions and they were like one after the other, it's like, oh, so she went in there specifically looking to respond to questions about August, questions that she may or may not have been asking herself. Let's get to the next one. The next one says, so she says, I'm not dating anyone at the moment, clap. Keeping myself, protecting my peace, Girl, stop. You were hinting at dating him a little while ago. So this is what I mean when I say that. Obviously, the two of them are no longer at this moment. I believe that August broke up with her, and that's why she's playing like coy and beg. Because if she's the one that left someone, she's going to be shouting it from the rooftops the way she does when she talks about David Eason and how she kicked him to the curb. You know, by the way, I do have to do a video on David Eason. I thought he was rehomed after being kicked off of Janelle's boat by that new woman that he's seeing, but he started deleting photos on Instagram, so maybe she kicked him out too. Gonna have to look into that a little bit later because there's a lot going on with these two, and it's truly a mess. Someone else asked, do you miss having your ex around? Her ex obviously being David Eason, to which Jenelle responded, nope, glad he moved on, happy they're happy. Obviously in reference to David Eason being, you know, put up in a new house with that girl. I forgot her name, but yeah. Now, the next thing is Jenelle talking about, an all-woman team. And when she's talking about an all-women's team, she is talking about firing August as her manager. So whatever went down with August, it has Jenelle feeling bitter AF. Because for her to go from this is my manager, that's my manager, I'm going to stick beside him, to, I want to build an all-girl team, you know? And it sounds better than involving any man, hashtag businesswoman era. It means screw you. We've got bad blood. And I really want everybody to know it without like explicitly saying it. So something really surely went down. And then she also, people were calling August the Temu Pitbull or something like that. And Jenelle poked fun at that, saying that people give the best nicknames for people, which, is interesting because, she doesn't sound so happy when people trot out the nicknames that they've got for her. I'm not going to repeat them because the nicknames that people have for her are very vicious, but, it's funny, the way it's all fun and games until the nicknames apply to you, right? Anyway, guys, listen, I saw these like responses from Jenelle on Instagram and I was like, girl, what happened between you and August? Because all this time you've been so coy about the status of your relationship with him. You're talking about moving yourself and your kids to his state, seemingly to be around him for whatever relationship you have. And now you're saying you want to build, let me pull up that photo. You're saying that you want to build an exclusively female team and not include any man. And right here, this guy is a man. Something went down. Anyway, guys, I'm going to continue to keep an eye on the story. Jenelle, she likes to drop hints here and there as if she's never going to tell the full story. But one thing about her, she's got a big old mouth. So stay tuned. She will be spilling the tea, and I will be relaying the tea to you when that happens, okay? In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to stick around for a weekly recap of what's going on Teen Mom Next Chapter, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye now.